The phone vibrated against the marble counter. Once, twice, 71 times. I watched it light up like a dying heartbeat. Her name kept flashing across the screen. I let it ring. Hours earlier, another call had come. Different voice, sharper. "If you want to join Thanksgiving." My daughter-in-law snapped over the phone, loud enough for others to hear. "Come wash the dishes." Silence sat between us. I imagined her smirk. The way she must have turned to my son afterward, rolling her eyes. "Old man, useless, a burden." I replied with one word, "Enjoy." Then I hung up. They thought I was alone, broke, dependent. They thought I needed their table. They never noticed the bartender who never forgot a face. Never noticed the man in the corner who listened. They never noticed me watching. For years. And tonight, the photos arrived in their family group chat. Snow-covered mountains, a private terrace, a glass of 12-year-old Macallan resting beside an infinity pool. My villa in Switzerland. That's when the phone began to scream. 71 times. I let it scream. The first betrayal didn't come from my daughter-in-law. It came from my wife. Years ago, I sat at the polished oak bar in her investment club. That's what she called it. A private casino for elites, high rollers, late nights, loud laughter behind frosted glass. She said it was networking. I said nothing. The bartender knew better. "You deserve better," he muttered one night while wiping a spotless glass. I raised an eyebrow. He didn't look at me when he said it. "Your wife doesn't just play cards." I didn't react. But I started watching. The way she dressed differently on club nights. The way my friends' wives lingered too long with certain men. The coded jokes. The private rooms upstairs that weren't for poker. I wasn't shocked. I was observant. Suspicion is quiet at first. It doesn't scream. It whispers. Her perfume changed. Her laughter changed. The way she touched my arm, mechanical, rehearsed. I realized something slowly. I had been funding their freedom, my investments, my discipline, my sacrifices. They gambled with it. And with me. Still, I smiled at dinners. I toasted anniversaries. I played the devoted husband. Because knowledge is power, and I was collecting it. I didn't confront her. That would have been emotional. And I was no longer emotional. I was strategic. The bartender became my unlikely ally. Not out of loyalty, out of disgust. He had seen too many men like me smiling, clueless. He showed me nothing directly, just patterns. VIP rooms booked under false names. My wife's car parked longer than the games lasted. My friend Daniel slipping upstairs minutes after her. I verified phone records quietly. Shared data plans are careless things. Messages deleted don't disappear from billing summaries. I began moving money. Not large amounts. That would alert her. Small transfers. Different accounts. Casino chips converted to private holdings under a trust she didn't know existed. She thought I was losing. She bragged about it, I later learned. "Poor thing," she'd say about me to the others. "He doesn't understand risk." I understood risk. I also understood greed, so I fed it. I encouraged her investments, supported bigger games, even suggested Daniel join her table. The more confident they grew, the sloppier they became. The bartender handed me a small envelope one night. Inside were printed security stills. Not explicit, not dramatic, just unmistakable. Her hand resting on Daniel's thigh in the VIP lounge. His lips near her ear, their wedding rings glinting under warm light. I didn't feel rage. I felt clarity. At home, she asked why I'd been quiet lately. I smiled, just thinking about the future. She had no idea how right I was. The final confirmation arrived not as photos, but as numbers. 3 consecutive high-stake losses. Funds transferred from our joint account. Chips cashed under her authorization, except the accounts were already hollow. Because months earlier, I had rerouted everything. The joint portfolio was a shell. She just didn't know it yet. Thanksgiving morning, she stormed into my study. "We need to talk," she said, voice trembling. I already knew. "They froze the account," she whispered. "There's nothing there." I handed her a folder. Inside legal documents, asset separation filings, a private trust deed, proof that the primary holdings had been transferred to an overseas entity months ago. Her face drained. "You knew?" she asked. I met her eyes, calm, still. "I've been watching you get screwed over for years," I said softly. "I decided to stop being part of it." Her voice cracked. "This is cruel." "No," I replied. "This is accounting." I didn't yell. I didn't insult her. I simply finished the process. Divorce papers had already been drafted, filed, executed. Daniel's investments? Leveraged against joint ventures I quietly withdrew from weeks prior. He collapsed under debt within months. The club folded when several silent investors pulled out simultaneously. Silent investors I had spoken to personally, not to expose her, just to suggest instability. My daughter-in-law's arrogance was collateral damage. After the Thanksgiving call, I posted the villa photos intentionally, not to brag, to correct a narrative. They thought I needed their dishes. They didn't realize I owned the sink. The phone rang 71 times because desperation is loud. I answered on the 72nd. Her voice was different now. "We didn't know," she whispered. "That's the point," I said, and I hung up again. Switzerland is quiet in winter. Snow absorbs sound, softens edges. I stand on the terrace and watch the mountains breathe. I don't feel victorious. I feel lighter. Betrayal doesn't destroy you. It reveals you. It showed me who she was, who they were. More importantly, it showed me who I had allowed myself to be. No more. The bartender sent me a short message last week. "Club's closed." I replied with a simple thumbs up. I don't hate her. Hate requires attachment. I no longer have any. They lost money. They lost status. They lost the illusion of control. I lost something too. Naivety. And I gained something far more valuable. Distance. The phone no longer rings. And even if it did, I wouldn't answer.